This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. For the first time, Sam Jones comes on the channel as a father. Congratulations.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
How's it treating you?
First 2 days, mate, were extremely challenging. But then every day gets easier, and like it's a blessing in it to have a little boy, and like I couldn't be happier.
What's his name?
Roman.
Oh, that's a fighting name, that.
Roman, is it?
Yeah.
No, he's not fighting. He's definitely not fighting.
Really? What if you turn around one day and said, I want to get in the gym and fight?
I do everything I can for him to not do that.
Can manage him?
No, mate. There'll be none of that. There'll be none of that carry on.
Okay, Sam, aside from becoming a father, how's things anyways?
Yeah, good, mate. Really good. Can't complain. I didn't really do much last week, but last couple of days been slowly getting back into it again, and some really good stuff happening.
Okay, let me ask you about last night's card live on BT Sport. See, Daniel Dubois returned after his loss to your man Joe Joyce, who saw him stop Bogdandino. Thoughts?
Yeah, I said that's the way it would go. I'm not just like making out I'm Houdini. I just thought it was pretty obvious. Bogdandino's pretty terrible, and Daniel punches very hard. I didn't see any new things in Daniel's armour. It was just a Daniel Dubois performance, good, strong jab, backed his man up on the ropes, caught him with the right hand. Pretty similar to how when he fought Rajvan Kajanu. It was a similar kind of destruction of him. Like, Daniel punches very hard. He can do that to a lot of people. And like, I was pleased for him. Like, he big smile on his face. It was very, no matter what anybody tells you, to come back after losing the way he did, with under a lot of scrutiny, he showed heart and balls to come back and do that in front of a crowd, and you saw the relief in his face afterwards, which was nice. It was nice to see some emotion after the fight with Daniel. But fair, good luck to him. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel was obviously very hard to read sometimes, very cool, calm customer, but he did admit to me after the fight last night that there was demons, which I think any human would go through, considering what happened in his last fight. So clearly it had a toll on him, the way he lost to Joe last time out. Yeah,
of course, Umar. Like, I mean, it has been a bit annoying from our point of view, because people are trying to portray like, oh, that the incident, the incident, like, no. The fact of the matter is, I mean, I'll say this again, there's been no bigger person around the boxing that's been talking Daniel up as much as me. Daniel Dubois is a great fighter. I said it before the fight, I said it after the fight. Just stylistically, Joe is all wrong for Daniel. And if they fought 10 times, Joe would beat him 10 times out of 10. I mean, whatever the judges had him on the scorecards, I don't care. The plan was always to stop Daniel late, because we knew we were never going to get any favours. We knew everything was against us. And Joe has done the same thing. He did it to Ian Lewis, and he fractured his orbital bone. I think Bermain Stiverne as well, orbital bone. So he's done that to a few people. So it wasn't really a shock, and there was nothing non-conclusive about that fight. Daniel went onto one knee, and the referee Ian John Lewis looked him in his eyes and counted to 10. There is no KO win for Joe Joyce. There was nothing inconclusive about that. That's the only thing that's been bothering me. But Daniel, whether he did the right thing on it to save his career, I believe, of course he did. And I came out and said that. And like I said, I don't want people scrutinising a young man. He's only young. He's 23. But I see the same kind of pattern already happening again. Like, after the fight, do you want to fight? Like, just let the kid grow. Let the kid grow into a fight. Like, oh, put him into a high mandatory position. Like, Daniel don't need to be taking those fights right now. He needs 2 years of building.
Well, even Trevor Bryant?
Trevor Bryant, yes, okay, fair enough. If you want to go along that route, that's a fair. Daniel beat him in 2 rounds. He's useless. He's totally useless. He is. He's totally useless. So yeah, those fights, Gerald Washington, good fights for Daniel, but steer clear of the top 5 and those type of guys. He's not. He needs. To his credit, Shane McGuigan's a good trainer, so let him build with Shane McGuigan and let him build. Don't keep putting so much pressure on him. If he fight, if this thing of all the rematch, no, what is there to gain for Joe Joyce out of taking that rematch? But if they desperately wanted it, we're not hard to get hold of. Call us, call us. But for him, it's no. I spoke to Daniel and his father in the gym when he came to spar. So great conversation, with loads of respect for his dad. And from the way I got it, that there's no interest there. There's no interest there. Maybe in a few years. Potentially, who knows if all the belts are on the line. But right now, Joe's ahead of Daniel Dubois, and everybody needs to realise that. Joe Joyce he's solidified his place as bar Tyson Fury aside in Frank's stable, is the number one. So people need to give Joe the credit, and Joe will fight July 24th or the 31st of next month. And it will be a solid opponent, and we will keep building, and we will look to face the WBO heavyweight champion, whoever that may be, in the not too distant future.
Sam, I just want to pick up on a point you said there. Obviously, Joe is at that world title level now, so way ahead of Daniel at this point. How comes you said there, give us a phone call then about the potential rematch?
Because I just like, let's fight. They're using Joe's let's run it back. Daniel's 2 years off even being near a rematch with Joe. He needs to build. I'm not Daniel. Like I've got there's no interest in my life into Daniel's career. Do you know what I mean? I like him. I like his family. I like him, and I wish him well. I genuinely wish him well. And I think he'll do great things in the heavyweight division, but just not yet. As I say, people are going to get carried away, because we knew Joe Dubois can punch before he fought Joe. I told everybody this. I said he can punch, but you kind of saw when he fought Joe, when he landed his best shot on Joe, and Joe just stood there, didn't move a muscle, like what I told everybody he would do, and he kind of ran out of ideas. He needs to build. Let him build. This is just my opinion, but don't be throwing that, let's rematch. There was nothing inconclusive about Joe versus Daniel Dubois. Referee 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count out. Finished. Decisive win by Joe Joyce.
But then if it was inconclusive, which it was, conclusive, which it was, why the phone call, Sam, then? Surely
no, I'm just saying that we've had nobody saying, let's run it, but I hear talks like little whispers, let's no. And
I see what you're saying. There's been no phone calls or off arc. I see what you're saying.
No, that's what I mean. Like, don't just use Joe's name like what. There's no shit. Like Daniel's a fighter, and I genuinely believe, like when I said at the round table with Frank, Daniel doesn't really decide who he fights. It's the team around him. And I told Daniel that. I said, listen, but Daniel, fair play to him. And as I say, I've spent time with Daniel after the fight, and you realise he will fight anybody. He genuinely will fight anybody, because he is a fighter. So, but he needs to stay well clear of Joe Joyce, because it's not even really, like I say, it's not worth like talking about. They're on separate paths now. He's gone that WBA regular route, which we were going before we came to Frank, and that kind of fell apart a little bit. And now Joe's solidified himself in the WBO rankings with a performance off his own back. Like, Joe's got to be given credit just for getting himself there, if you know what I mean, because he had all the odds stacked against him. Everybody wrote him off against Dubois, and he proved all the doubters wrong. Now Joe needs his chance in the sun. Do you know what I mean? He's going to have a good fight in July against a top opponent. We're in talks with a few. In talks with a few. The fans will be happy with either of the choices, whoever we get in the ring with Joe. And then we will look to fight the winner. We will look to fight, as I say, the WBO champion as soon as possible, and we're confident that will happen.
Yeah, I've heard the name for the 24th, or whenever he boxes in July, and fans will be pleased for that, definitely.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Frank told me last night, if Joshua vacates, that you guys will push for Joyce Usyk immediately. Correct, Sam?
100%. Usyk's the fight we wanted, but because of the backlog of the AJ Fury situation, which is no fault of anyone's, to be fair, it's no fault of anybody's, it's no fault really of Frank's. I just wish the situation would have been resolved earlier, because this is like 6 months out of Joe's career where we could have been getting moving. Joe could have fought a Bogdan Dinu last night. Do you know what I mean? It's just to get, do you know what I mean? Just to keep him active. But to be fair, Bogdan Dinu wouldn't do nothing for Joe's career now anyway. We wouldn't have took that fight anyway, because we're looking to progress. But just to kind of get him active. It's like you said, it's a bit annoying that the winner of the fight, like, is like not getting what the loser kind of got. Do you know what I mean? The front runner, he's got top. He topped a bill. I know it was only, like, no disrespect, but it was in Telford. Joe's looking for big nights now, and we will only take big fights going forward.
Sam, if Joshua vacates, is it fair to say that yourselves and Team Usyk aren't reaching a deal? That goes to purse bid, doesn't it?
Who knows? Probably. Usyk don't want to fight Joe. He made it very, very clear. He made it very, very clear. And any idiot can see that Usyk and his whole team did not want to fight Joe Joyce. Wants no part of him, because he knows Joe will beat him, in my honest opinion.
Do you think Joshua will vacate, Sam?
I don't know. Joshua should do what's best for Joshua. And I'm not just saying that because, yeah, we'd love to fight Usyk, but Joshua should do what's best for Joshua. I'd much rather see Joshua against Dillian White, the rematch, rather than him fight Usyk, me personally.
You would say that. You would say that.
Yeah, no, of course, I would say that, but I'm saying I would prefer to see it. The build-up's going to be more exciting because there's genuine animosity there. Dillian's improved from the first time he fought AJ. AJ's obviously improved, and it's a firefight. So I would prefer to see. I would much prefer to see that than Usyk against AJ.
Okay, Sam, talk to me about your other heavyweights. Let's start with Sol Dakers.
Yeah, he's out again next week in Newcastle. Quick turnaround. We just had to look at his hands because he hurt his hands a little bit on Manev's head, because the guy had a pretty hard head who he beat on his first outing. So we had to just look at his hands, but his hands are okay. So we go again on June 12th next week in Newcastle.
Okay, we look forward to that. Johnny Fisher and Christopher Lovejoy. What's going on?
Well, look, we're open to the idea of Johnny fighting Christopher Lovejoy in his third fight in Fight Camp. So let's see if that comes to fruition.
Has there been serious talks about it, or?
Yeah, I spoke with Matchroom yesterday about it, and we'll see. We're going to monitor the situation, because I don't know whether he's still got problems with Don King or not. Yeah, seriously, Donald King still calling shots with Christopher Lovejoy. It's a bit weird, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But Johnny Fisher's going to fight on Fight Camp regardless. Looking forward to seeing him back out. He's a real popular kid, and hopefully he'll get a few tickets. I think it's going to be like a very few amount of fans in Fight Camp, but regardless, the whole of Essex is going to come out and support Johnny.
Most definitely. I said that to Frank actually last night, because obviously Daniels will be called mandatory for Trevor Bryant, and Don King looks after Trevor Bryant. I said that's going to be a headache.
Very well, yeah, it's going to be a headache. So let's see.
Good old Don King, eh?
Yeah.
Sam, just a random one. Why do you post clips of this Hasbulla all the time?
Magmedov, I love him. I'd love to adopt him. He's just yeah. the posting's kind of stopped since we've had the baby, but yeah, I'm a big fan. I want him to walk Joe to the ring for the next fight.
Really?
I'd love him to walk Joe to the ring to his next fight, boys. Try and get hold of his management team.
That's a pay-per-view fight, isn't it? Abdu Rozik and Hasbulla, those two.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
18 and 17 though.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, I know he was 18.
Mental.
Oh, good old Hasbulla, the little, what do they call him? The little Khabib.
Little Khabib, yeah. Sam, what's going on with Lerone Richards?
Big win for him against the Caralis the other week. We'd love the Rocky Fielding fight. Loads of time for Rocky's team. Get on with all of them. Jamie Moore, top guys. But I'd love to make that fight, and I think that's the only belt that Rocky hasn't really won. So that'd be a great fight to make, and I think the fans would be really happy with that as well. It'd be a really, really good fight for Lerone on a personal level, and for Rocky as well. Try and complete his collection.
Have you mentioned that to Edward?
Yeah, we've had light conversations with Matchroom about the potential of fighting Rocky, which will be really, be a really great fight if that happens.
Talking about Eddie, what do you think about the deal with DAZN and leaving Sky Sports?
It's a bold move, isn't it? It's a very, very bold move to leave a platform of that size. But listen, it's like he who dares, isn't it? He's gone for it, hasn't he? He's gone for it, and hopefully it's good news for the fighters. Like bigger budgets, bigger purses for the fighters. It can only be good for the fighters. Like Eddie's not stupid, Frank Smith's not stupid. They know what they're doing. They put on great shows, and as I say, I've got quite a few boys with in the Matchroom stable. So me for one, hope it goes really well, which I believe it will.
Sam, just to go back to Joe, the fight on the 24th or whenever it is in July will be in London, yeah?
Yeah, it'll be in London.
Okay. Listen, I think we have covered everything. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. No, yes, we're in talks.
Sorry, Florian Marco.
We're in talks to make a fucking cracker for Florian for Fight Camp. We really are. Speaking to Matchroom about that this morning. In fact, cracker for Florian.
Is he from the UK? The opponent?
I'm not telling you anything.
Come on.
No, can't do that.
From the U. I mean, that's.
You will find out in due course. But it's an undefeated guy. Cracker.
Okay, we look forward to that announcement. Sam Jones of S-Jam Boxing, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Cheers, mate.